Today we're making portobello mushroom steaks and roasted vegetables. First up, we're going to make our sauce. It's going to consist of a 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar, a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. I like to use low sodium just for health reasons. Next up, the most Canadian of the ingredients, 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. Calls for 3 garlic cloves. I'm using pre-chopped garlic just because it'll make my life a little bit easier. I don't have a whisk, but we'll just kind of give it a quick little stir here with our fork. This is going to serve as a marinade for the portobello mushroom steaks. Bring in the pan that we're going to have the mushrooms marinate in. This recipe calls for 4 portobello mushrooms. Put that end over end. If you have a pan that works better, go for it. This is the only thing that I have access to that'll fit all 4. And next I'm just going to kind of pour it on all these guys. And these are going to soak for 15 minutes minimum. Something that would be great is if preheating is done. For some, you might want to marinate these for half an hour, 2 hours overnight. Totally up to you. I'm doing the 15 minutes, just easy peasy. So say if at the end of the day, end of work or something like that, and I just want something quick, 15 minutes, you can see how easy it is. And this recipe is from one of my favorite cookbooks, Plant You by Carly Budrig. My apologies, Carly, if you see this and I totally butchered your name. Just know I love this recipe. As somebody who is newer to plant-based, I have a bunch of cookbooks. I need inspiration. I need to learn from those who've come before me. So the thing I like about Plant You is the recipes are really easy to follow, and I find this one is an easy one to learn, an easy one to do. So we're gonna let this sit for 15 minutes before we stick it into the oven. And in the meantime, we're going to pair it with the roasted vegetables. So let's get chopping. All right, so here's our carrots. They've been washed beforehand. Always wash your veggies. I didn't peel them. I have been told that when we peel them, we're losing a lot of the nutritional value. So I like to keep the skin on. If you decide you want to skin them, go for it. Nice thing with carrots, you could get baby carrots, you can get heirloom carrots. So with the heirloom carrots, you'll get a lot of funky colors. You'll get purple carrots, bright red. So if you want just to have a visually beautiful plate, go for it, get crazy. Get heirlooms and babies. Why not? So we're just gonna stick this in there. The recipe calls for parchment paper. I don't have parchment paper, so I'm working with what I have. And frankly, that's kind of the motto. Start where you are, work with what you've got. And that's especially for people who are brand new to plant-based cooking and who have an interest in it. Just dive in, just try it. You don't have to be perfect, just get started. Next up, runaway Brussels sprouts. Again, these are pre-washed. Just slice these bad boys. I'm not really doing anything to them. These ones I'm just gonna roast, pour a little bit of olive oil on them, and then add some pepper. But there are recipes out there where you could use nutritional yeast, where you can season them in a lot of different ways. This one is just going for the really simple, really plain Jane. The nice thing about this recipe is that once you have prepped everything, it just goes in the oven. So you can kick up your feet for like 45 minutes. It's a really nice thing about it. You can get ahead, you can clean, you can play a game on your phone, you can hang with your family, hang with your dog. Whatever you've got going on, that's the beauty of this recipe. Drizzle a little olive oil on that. You can use different oils. I like olive oil, I like the taste of it. I like that it's healthy. Pepper on there. Next up, our sweet potatoes. Through the magic of editing, add a bowl up here, because with the potatoes, we're gonna do a little something extra. Although sweet potatoes on their own have a nice flavor, we're gonna add a little something to it. Just gonna put that one. I've got 4 smaller size sweet potatoes, and you'll notice, just like the carrots, I didn't skin them. A lot of nutritional value in there. Sweet potatoes, I find, are a really great plant-based staple. There's a lot of goodness, nutrition in these guys. Well, that one's got a bit of a spot. So this guy here, just remove these 2. And no, I'm not just throwing skins and stuff on the floor. There's a compost just by my feet. I'm mostly hitting it. Mind your fingers, because nothing can derail a dinner quicker than losing one, or a deep cut. The only deep cut I'm into is when you're getting on the deep cut of an album, not our fingers. So here we are going to be a bit liberal with our olive oil. Next up, we're going to add in some sweet smoked paprika. We got 1 very healthy teaspoon here. We'll just put that there. We'll then add a healthy heaping of cinnamon. We're just going to give those guys a bit of a mix. Adds a nice little sweetness and flavor to your meal. I've cut a lot here, so probably have leftovers, or if you have a family or friends that you're cooking for, maybe you guys just hammer it all in one go. I went a little overboard with the potatoes. Cut 4, probably could have used half of that, but again, leftovers didn't hurt, right? Right. We are going to take the roasted veggies, pop them in the oven, set your timer for about 45 minutes, and they'll be good to go. All right, next up are our mushrooms. We're gonna toss those in the oven too. And these mushrooms, again, were already washed. We'll just pour the excess. Let's be daring and not use a spoon. Just pour a little of the excess in there. A little delish mix. It's something that was meant to be added to the pan of roasted vegetables, but because I got quite excited with the sweet potato, some red onion. Well, since I've already gone overboard with 1, we'll calm it down a little bit. Whoop. And we will just chop up half of the red onion. Oh, onion juice in the eye. Be very careful. Sometimes your food fights back. And as my revenge, I will consume it. Just dice those up nice and fine. And we'll add that to the tail end here on our pan that's going to go into the oven. Roasted veggies are in, so we'll just go by that timer. Even though you have the timer going, be sure to check it periodically, maybe every 15-20 minutes. Can't hurt. You don't want to burn your goodies. I've preheated the oven to 425. In the recipe, it calls for 400 for the mushrooms, 450 for the veggies. I figure split the difference, keep an eye on it, should be okay. Here's to hoping. So in the oven it goes. And we'll cook this for about 40-45 minutes. And this is one of my favorite recipes from Plant U. It's super easy, super tasty, and it's just, yeah, it's really easy to do. And the good thing is, if you find that a couple of the options are a little bit bland, you can spice it up with different ways of seasoning, which is what I did with the sweet potato. In the recipe book, it just said chop them up. I think adding cinnamon, smoked paprika really adds a little something to it. Maybe have less sweet potato than I cooked here. This is a lot just for me, but like I said, leftovers, they're a good thing. So as far as plant-based meals, really simple, really easy. If you are new to going plant-based, I can't recommend this one enough because you have all the ingredients. It is really easy, and that's the whole idea behind this channel, is taking on plant-based cooking, but making it really, really easy for yourself. So it's really easy. You have your portobello mushroom steak. If you have a grill, you could throw that on there at the last bit to get your grill marks. I don't have one, so I'll just enjoy that oven flavor. Got the Brussel sprouts with your olive oil, some pepper, the delicious sweet potatoes, and your roasted carrots. Bon appetit, bien provecho, whatever you say before you eat. Just enjoy your meal, and don't forget to be kind and do good. Until next time.